We are here at UCLA on the 13th day of October. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles, as usual. A little warm, of course. We're about to hear an introductory speech from Nancy.
Hi, I'm Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Sonder. The realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own, each with their own routines, friends, worries, and inherent craziness. So I think that applies to us most of the time, whether we're walking to class or studying in the library. You look up and you just see all these people around you with their own lives, their own routines, and you don't ever really get to know them. Doing a study buddy assignment, you kind of expect the same thing. It's a 10-week course. It's very fast-paced. You don't think you're going to get to know your classmates. However, this particular study buddy assignment had a more intimate approach where we had to get to know our study buddies in order to do this speech. And I found it very refreshing because even getting to know Bree a little bit over these past few days was so amazing and fascinating. I learned how driven, how passionate, and just how resilient she is. So I want to tell you about her past, present, and future. Her past for her love of singing and writing, and a moment she shared with her grandmother. About the present, where that passion was channeled into other goals for herself, and the future, which holds infinite possibilities for Bree. I know you enjoy meeting my new study buddy because I definitely did. She has a kind of passion that rubs off on you, at least it did for me for speech. So first, I'd like to talk about her past. Bree loved to sing and write since a young age. A lot of kids love to sing even when they're not good at it. But for Bree, it was something more. It was a means of escape. As a child, she had some bumps in the road, but singing was an outlet for her. She would sing for hours. She would lock herself in the restroom or a room so that no one could bother her. Once she got over her fear of singing for other people, she shared with me a moment where she sang to her grandmother. She sat down with her grandmother and she sang the song Mariah Carey's Hero. And if anyone has heard it, I have lyrics. And they went, then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So those lyrics, her and her grandmother, they both felt those lyrics. They felt that their hearts had connected, and she knew in that moment just how much of an impact words and music and just having that connection with someone had. And even now, Bree tries to apply that to every aspect of her life. So now to the present. When I first met Bree, right after class, we were study buddies, I just saw the kind of passion she had for speech, for academics. Right off the bat, she was giving me pointers, advice, or even outlines of past speeches that she had done to help me out, a newcomer that had never ever taken a speech class before. And I just saw how passionate she was about academics, and she is. She is currently trying to juggle between working full-time and going to school full-time while still trying to maintain a 4.0 GPA, which I think is amazing. Her passion is fueled by the desire to prove to all the negative people in her life in the past that said she wouldn't or couldn't amount to anything. And now for the future. The future holds infinite possibilities for Bree. She may not know where she's going, but she knows wherever she ends up, she wants to be the best person she can be and help others do the same. She told me a quote that I think definitely goes along with her journey since being born, coming to UCLA, and the future. It says, the true measure of greatness is not measured on how many times you fall, but how many times you get up. And I think that's definitely Bree. She's had some bumps in the road, but no matter what, she's right here standing, always happy, always lending a hand to me, especially when I first met her. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you Bree Dalrymple.
429.
I'm William.
Hi, William.
And I really liked the way you described her determination, because you described it in a variety of different ways, and it gave us a really good idea of just like how determined she is and what kind of person she is and how she lets that determination out.
Improvement? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll go there. Fine, I didn't see you there. That's good.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
I really liked your speech. You're very enthusiastic and very energetic. I think the only thing was that I was a little bit confused when you started your speech. I wasn't sure if it was a quote or
It was a definition. Sonder, the word sonder.
Yeah, okay. I liked your speech a lot. It was filled with reverence and respect for your study buddy, and that came through, and I liked that a great deal, Nancy. I didn't know how to categorize your intro. Was it a definition?
Yes.
Was it an observation? So I didn't know what you were going to tie back to. So I didn't get much of a tie back. I didn't get much of a summary either. See? And so I want you to remember, folks, for your film speech, when you type it out, type out the 7 Roman numerals. And when you type out your outline for me, put down Roman numeral 1 through 7 so you won't forget to have any part. I was a little troubled when your intro went 119, which was pretty long before you finally got to her past. I think that you could have picked that up. Your first story you told us was about singing and fear of singing, and the Mariah Carey song where she made a strong emotional connection with her grandmother. And I thought that was a story well told and a good story. On the present, you told her about she was offering to help you and to achieve a high GPA, and so it was sort of a mixture of her personality and helping you and that sort of thing. The future, I like the quote about how many times you fall, but how many times you get up. That was very good. I don't know what happened when you got to the end, but you skipped over the summary. You went to write the ladies and gentlemen, I give you Brianna, and then you skipped your tie back. And it's good, folks, to put the tie back in and then put the ladies and gentlemen, I give you Brianna at the very end, so you don't get the false clap ahead of time. But overall, I thought what I really liked a lot, and I'd like to see you build on, is that you really had a lot of respect for your study buddy and admiration, and that came through nicely. Thank you. Okay, another volunteer. Everyone signed up for their film speech, right? Free country. People are dying in Iraq and Syria. So you have freedom and liberty. Okay, the camera's rolling.
There hasn't been a sign-in sheet today, right?
No, you're going to start one, okay.
Okay.
Right in the middle by the plug, one step that way. Yeah. She's managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, saying to herself, I respect my audience. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
An American writer, Thomas Martin, once said that happiness is not a matter of intensity, but of balance, order, and rhythm and harmony. Today, I want to introduce my new study buddy, Jennifer Rodriguez, and I would introduce her past, present, and future. Past as a team player, but also an independent learner. Present, people stay in real life, but also present on internet. Future, studying hard for law school, but also balance it well with event planning. So I think everyone would be very interesting to meet her because she balanced her life very well. In the past, when Jennifer is a junior in high school, she and her partner were ranked #1 doubles on girls' tennis team. Being a double player, she has to trust her partner and rely on each other. She has to trust that her partner will be there if she cannot catch the tennis ball, and they rely on each other to play the best. However, one day, she stepped on the tennis ball and ended up spraining her ankles and breaking her foot. Her life as a team player ended, so she started the homeschool for 1 year. During the homeschool year, actually that was a very big change for her life. She used to surrounded by classmates, teammates, and all the different teachers. But right now, she can only study hard for big tests by herself and stay at home all night and all day by herself. But after 1 year, she successfully learned how to be independent, especially studying for tests and academically independent. So in the past experience, Jennifer really knows how to be a team player, but also an independent learner. And in the present, Jennifer really loves to make friends in a real lifetime and also keep present on the internet. I think one thing really inspiring about her is she does not have any social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Instead of posting moments or updating locations on the social media, she loves to meet friends in person or hear their voices. I think in today's social media world, phones and laptops occupy people's life a lot. It seems the world gets smaller and people are more related to each other. But to be honest, people feel lonelier than before. So I think I really appreciate the quality of keeping distance from social media. And also, keeping distance does not mean isolation. Jennifer also working with a YouTuber who has a subscriber over 715,000. Her job is to read comments and filter the video according to the audience preferences. She loves the job because that job keeps her present on the social internet, but also keep distance from the social media network. In the future, Jennifer is going to apply for law school and studying hard for the LSAT. Law school actually is very competitive, and LSAT needs hours of study. But Jennifer has always been a creative person. She planning a lot of events, for party events. Like she planned party events for artists like Drake and Kingston, I think, Sean Kingston, and also hold parties for her friends. From deciding the outfits of waitress to picking the colors of the tables, she figured out a lot of details. So while LSAT is the first task she has to conquer, she balanced it very well with event planning. So in summary, I have told you about Jennifer's past, present, and future. Past as a team player, but also independent learner. Present as make friends in a real lifetime, but also very active in the social network. And future, apply for law school and also active in event planning. So as Loco said, happiness is not about intensity, but harmony and order. I think Jennifer is really good at balancing her life in an elegant way. Thank you.
354. challenge to stand up, isn't
It
it?
is. Hi, my name's Dominic.
Hi, Dominic.
I really liked your speech, and something that I really liked about it was how much you really seemed to admire your study buddy. When you were talking about her not being active on social media, I could really tell that you admired her as a person for kind of deviating from the norm and finding her own place in today.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Unfortunately,
Improvement.
was in the restroom.
Oh,
so
you was
if we do the next
were
one.
resting.
Sorry.
Improvement.
Hi, my name's Melody.
Hi, Melody.
And I really liked your speech. I like the stories. I think one thing that you could improve on is when you looked at your study, but you kind of closed yourself off to the audience. Just like body language and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to signal you to look out here and stop staring at Jennifer. You kept looking over if she was going to slap you if you made a mistake or something. So just stare out here. Forget Jennifer. I liked your speech, your Thomas Merton, American religious writer. Happiness having to do with balance, order, and harmony. And you tied back to that nicely, so I was pleased with that. I liked your thesis preview. It was detailed. It wasn't just past, present, future, but it was past as a team player, but independent learner. Present, a real-life person, also present on the internet, and future law and public relations assistant. So that was good. Your sixth statement was excellent. Your first story that you told about her breaking her ankle and her foot and ending her promising doubles tennis team career was a good story, which transitioned nicely into being homeschooled, which she had to learn to become an independent learner and to learn to be alone, which is probably a really important thing to learn. Many people are afraid to be alone these days, as you know. So those were two good stories, and I like the way you summed up the moral of your stories at the end. Excellent. On your present story, you talked first about how she's rejected wasting time on Facebook, etc., and yet she still works with Colette Butler, a YouTuber, as she filters videos, so she still has her toe on the internet, shall we say. So that was sort of an interesting story there. On the future, studying for the LSAT, and she helped to put parties for artists such as Drake and Sean Kingston. I guess you've all heard of these people, right? Great. And working for the LSAT. So that was the future. It was hard to get a story out of that. Your conclusion was again detailed, and I like that very much. Your tie back to the Merton quote and to balance and harmony was good. And you said she handled it in an elegant way. You said you wanted as your canais to slow down, to be more confident and emphatic, and to delete ands, likes, and so's. How'd it go?
I think slow down goes really well. Probably confident, need to work more on it. For this time, I don't think I used that much like and.
All right.
It's the first time.
Getting better. My suggestion, you practice with a live person and have them raise their hand every time you say like, and any of those transitional phrases. Have them raise their hand, and you'll become aware of how often you do it, and you can cut it out that way. But overall, you did an excellent job. Thank you. Hi. Oh, I see. The self-evaluation isn't stapled to the introductory speech.
Oh,
Give me a moment. Oh, is this your self-evaluation? That's yours.
Mine isn't stapled together either, though. So.
Okay, let me get out the green stapler. Okay, you're taller. Just a minute. I'm gonna lose your head. Just stand over there, please. This way more. Okay. She stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Today I am going to introduce my study buddy to you all. Her name is Siri. And if having the same name as Apple's Knowledge Navigator doesn't make you awesome, I don't know what does. Britney Spears once told will.i.am, "I want to scream and shout and let it all out." This song lyric is more than applicable to Siri, for it helped her discover who she is as a person and who she eventually wants to become one day. So who is Siri exactly? Today I'm going to tell you all about her. I'm going to tell you about her past and how she found a love for public speaking, about her present and how she loves to travel, and about her future and how she wants to work for a traveling agency in China. So let's start with her past. When Siri was in 3rd grade, she had just transferred to a new school that was closer to her house, so she was able to walk to and from school. Unfortunately for Siri, she was a bit absent-minded back then, and she would often forget her house keys. And so she was locked out unless she was able to communicate with her mom to come downstairs and unlock the door for her. So she had to stand there and scream at the top of her lungs for her mom to come downstairs and unlock the door. Problem was, her mom was often on the 3rd story of her house, 3rd story, and washing clothes, so she couldn't hear Siri. So Siri had to stand outside and wait there and repeat herself until her mom could finally hear her. So this habit of hers, her way of speaking, eventually became who she was because people in her elementary school actually noticed, her teachers, and when someone had to give a speech for her elementary school on behalf of the school, she was the one who was chosen. And in fact, whenever there was any speech that had to be given, Siri was the one who was chosen. This skill eventually followed her into middle school as well, to where she would record videos about daily student life? Yeah, she would record videos about daily student life and for her local channel on TV. And it also helped her become more outgoing because she was once a shy person, and it helped her make friends and eventually define who she was. So enough about her past, let's move on to her present. Siri comes from a family of architects. So this allows her to travel around the world to see the different architecture with her parents, like different buildings from around the world. One time when she was in Japan, she lost an earring. She was staying at a hotel in Japan, and she lost an earring on her pillow. And she didn't even notice that she had lost this earring because it was so small. It was like a little stud. She didn't notice until she went to her second hotel, where they greeted her with a little box containing her earring that said, "Hey, we noticed you left your earring at our hotel and we wanted to return it to you. I hope you come visit our hotel in the future." This shocked and impressed Siri so much because their professionalism and their service just really gave her new appreciation for service instead of architecture. So from then on, instead of focusing on the architecture of buildings, she noticed that service appealed to her more. So her past in public speech and her present in traveling brings me to her future. What does she want to do? She wants to work for a traveling agency in China. Now, this traveling agency, I think, is really low-key and on the hush-hush because she told me the name of it, but then she told me not to repeat it to you guys.
So she has gone through many traveling agencies, and she notices which ones make them memorable and which ones don't make them memorable. And she wants to combine her skill for public speech so that she'll be able to communicate with customers. And she wants to combine her love for travel, so she'll know exactly what to do and what to say to make their trip a memorable one, just how she knows what makes her trips memorable ones. So, what do we know about Siri? We know about her past and her love for public speech, her present and her love for traveling, and her future to where she wants to work in a traveling agency in China. So all Siri had to do was scream and shout and let it all out to her mother in order to find what her passion is in life. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Siri Du.
Thank you, Jennifer. Here I am. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nava. I really like your speech. I think you're pretty confident in what you were saying, and it was very organized, and I was able to follow every single thing, the past, the present, and the future, and how you brought the things from the past into the present, and then those things into the future. I really like that.
Smooth transition.
Yeah.
Improvement.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joanna. And just like Nala said, your speech was really good. The only thing that was kind of distracting was when we were trying to look at Siri. So that's the only thing that I found. But it was really good.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to look out here more. You kept looking over at her as if she was going to hit you upside the head. But you want to focus on your audience more. I'd like to see you move 3 times.
Oh, yes. I was so focused on not putting my hands together for that.
Yeah. But try to do that. I like your screaming, Will I Am, the whole story of your intro was good. The story of her yelling at her mother was cute and charming, and the way she got into her house by screaming was good, and that led to a career in broadcasting and speech making, so that was cute and a well-told story. On the present, her family are architects, but she traveled a lot, but now she wants to go into travel and not do architecture. But she was impressed by the service that she received by getting her earring back. That was a good story, well told. And then finally, the third story for the future, for the travel agency, I thought you mixed in all of the skills and made sense of where she was going and what she wanted to combine her talents to do. So that was good. Your summary was good, your conclusion and tie back. My only concern was just that your focus was a lot over on Siri and you wanted to focus more on your audience. What were your goals? Was this, did you have goals? Are they somewhere?
They should be.
Oh, are they over here? Or where did you put your goals?
On the evaluation.
On the self-evaluation? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Well, you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, our work is done for the day. Return with honor. Remember, we're starting the film speeches on Monday. On Thursday, the A's should be prepared to go.
And we still have more
We'll
intros.
finish the intros as we have time when we get done with the A film speeches.
So if we have A, we should prepare for that.
So if you're an A, be ready to go.
Professor Miller.
I realized I should turn in my self-evaluation when I gave my speech last week. So.
Oh, tragedy. Thank you again. Yeah, I'll get packed up here and head over.
It's hard enough to get there as it is. And then it's like, not yet.
Okay, yeah. We're first the first time. We're like third the second time. Yeah.
Oh, myself up.
keep